Oh, I'm on time. It's Friday. I'm excited about that. Alright. Got that. Woo! Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. Woo! February 7th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Coffee? First cup of coffee. There we go. Oh, man. Weeks are too long. Weeks should be like 3 days. No, I don't entirely believe that. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to go back to bed. It's a snow day for everyone because I live in Vermont and it's Friday and it snowed. And I would love to see some data on percentage of snow days that occur on Friday. I bet it's higher. I also bet Mondays are higher. Because if you're on the fence and you're like, it would just extend the weekend, let's just call it. That would be cool. I haven't been affected by snow days for over 20 years and I still get excited for them a little bit. So today's going to be entirely different than I was supposed to. I was supposed to head to New Hampshire to do some training with Master Terry Dow and Mr. Paul Milholland. But Paul had to push it back. He's had a crazy week and he's working all weekend. He's like, dude, I just need some time. I can't do this. And I was like, that's fine. So we're going to try to do next Friday. Stacy says it's icy up there in the Burlington area. I haven't been outside. I haven't heard a plow go by, so I don't know what we're dealing with here yet. While I was down there, I was supposed to meet with my good friend Craig Wareham, who, I don't know what his title is, head instructor at Karate International. I don't think Craig's been on the show. His boss, Mr. John English, has been. But I was going to meet with Craig while I was down there. That's not going to happen. We're still going to talk over the phone. Craig's a good guy. Talk about some stuff for their school, some consulting work that I do for them. And other than that, I'm around here. So I just saved 5 hours in the car, and I'm going to trade that for some work. Now the question is, what do I do with that extra time? Once I'm done with first cup, I'm going to hit my desk. I'm going to plow through as much work as I can and see if I can make this more or less a half day. Make sure that after I'm done talking to Craig this afternoon, that is it. That I'll be done around 3:30 and done for the day. Maybe even done before that. We'll see. Yesterday was busy. Yesterday was all clients. I think I could build out 7 hours with clients yesterday. That's a lot of hours. Back in my old consulting days, anything over 5 or 6 was a long day. There would be crazy days where it would be more, but I didn't like doing those. Those are not sustainable. 7? Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. This has been going well, this consulting stuff. And I'm getting better at telling people about it. I knew it would take a year, and still got a few more months, but it's going well. I think all today's work is going to be whistlekick related. Got a couple podcast things to record. Got to record the Patreon video / audio, so those will get posted later, hopefully, barring any issues. And and Oh, maybe I'll get out in snow. It's supposed to be really cold tomorrow, so if I get out in snow, it would have to be today. It wouldn't have to be, but probably end up snow blowing tomorrow when it's 2. Because last I checked, we have even more snow coming today into tonight. Welcome to Vermont. Welcome to winter. Yay, winter. What's going on this weekend? Not much. There's a tournament tomorrow that the team will be at. I will not be attending. I need the Saturday off. I need to not travel. I need to deal with stuff around here. And there are other reasons. We just won't go into, not publicly. But I'll be at the next one, I think. Good luck to the team. I don't think any of them watch this. Except for the sub-team of Smashy Smash. Now, I know we have got some questions here, and I'm going to answer them. So if you want to ask questions, and remember, the goal of the show this year is to have more questions asked by more people. You can drop them below. Oh, Frank, you're going to get me in trouble. The joke for Funday Friday. Why did the man not talk to his wife for 6 years? He didn't want to interrupt her. Oh, that's funny. What's Stacy saying? Smash is here as often as possible. I know, and I appreciate that. Let's look at some quotes from another famous actor / martial artist for Black History Month, Wesley Snipes. I've been trying to keep the private life private, not being savvy or trained on how to do good interviews like a politician. I thought it was wiser to follow my mother's advice. If you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. I find Wesley Snipes to be a really interesting character. If you watch him in the Blade movies, you see he has a tremendous amount of martial arts skill. Now, I'm not sure how much he's embraced martial arts beyond getting camera ready. At one point I did some research, and from memory, there wasn't a lot of information out there. He and Jason Statham were kind of the two that I recall doing some research on, trying to figure out how much do these guys know? What have they trained? How much have they trained? Has it just been on set kind of stuff? Because they're both, they show some skill on camera. I remember when the Blade movies came out, and I've seen them all, it's just been a while. Wesley Snipes, really, people were really impressed with what he was able to do on camera. Pretty strong technique. And I'd like to talk to him about martial arts. See what he's done. Pick his brain. But I think that general advice, I think so often we're hyper-focused on getting attention that we forget that there are kinds of attention that don't help us. Now, sure, maybe if you're a A-list celebrity, there are things that you're doing to stay in the limelight. You live in a different world. But for the rest of us, if people are going to speak positively of you, at least let them wonder. It's better for someone to wonder about you than to know that, or at least believe that you're not a good person, or, whatever. Wesley Snipes makes that quote about interviews. He doesn't interview well. Well, a A lot of fallout can come from doing a bad interview. And we've seen that. We've seen a lot of people recant things that they've said in interviews. Because sometimes you get it wrong. I don't want to say it's easy to get it wrong, but you can get it wrong. And I think you could apply a bit of that strategy in martial arts, not in generalized training, but if you were, let's say you're sparring, putting out bad technique, not as good as not putting out technique, right? If you're back, if you're defended, you don't have to throw something. It's not until you throw something that you become open and vulnerable. If you're in an interview, you're not vulnerable until you say something. And we have this very interesting culture right now where people are desperately looking for things that people do wrong. It's fascinating to me and terrifying. It seems that no matter what someone does publicly, there's a group of people tearing them apart for it. And it really sucks. Nobody wants to get locked up, although locked up is a matter of perspective. There can be people who are out, who are in prison mentally and emotionally, and worse off than those who are behind bars. Of course, Wesley Snipes referencing, I'm assuming you're there, referencing going to prison, tax evasion, was it? Yeah, pretty sure he owed a bunch of money and went to prison for a couple years. That answer probably came from a question, what was it like to go to prison or something like that. I just spilled coffee on me. Well, guess we're washing the robe. Should probably wash the robe this weekend anyway. The idea that we can be imprisoned by more than four walls. Yes. Yes, I think we're starting to understand some of the mental constructs that people live with that can be really debilitating, whether it's mental illness or, I guess you can kind of lump all of it under mental illness, chronic anxiety and things like that. And it sucks. I'll be honest, there are times in my life where I've thought, you mean there's a place I can go where they make sure I have a roof over my head, bed, food, time to exercise and read, and I don't have to worry about anything else? No, I have friends who've been to prison, and I've had conversations with them, so I'm not trivializing that. But when things are really crazy, there's a romantic appeal to that, in the same way that being a pirate has a romantic appeal. The things you have to worry about is a much smaller list. We all have a lot of things to worry about. It's a long list. I've reduced a lot of the stress in my life. I've gotten rid of a lot of things. The light was turned on and a lot of the cockroaches started spinning. I swept them out the door, and sometimes you just have to throw things out because they carry a certain energy. I've been, obsessed is the wrong word, frequently considering this idea that so much of the time that we put in is in support of the things that we have, that we need to support the time that we're putting in. So for example, imagine what you would need in your home if you didn't have to work, right? Most of us have clothing that we wear only to work, and we have maybe a computer for work and books, and we went to school, and what happens when you start simplifying all of those things? You don't have as much. You don't need as much. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I have this frequent mental exercise of what it would like to live in a vehicle. You know, to get another 4Runner, or a lot of people are doing this in vans right now, maybe a small RV. What would I need? I don't use 95% of the stuff I have in my home frequently. I have it, it's available. I have a big rolling tool chest full of tools. Some of them are in the packaging. I've got all these plants because I don't get to get outside enough. What if I sold all this stuff? What if I gave it away? What if I lived in my car? What would I need to do there? I would need far less money. A lot of my money goes towards the house and house insurance and electricity, and it's a really interesting exercise. Maybe I'll rent out my house and go do this, because the income from the house should be enough to pay for the car and the car insurance and the gas and the food. What would that life look like? There are people doing that, and that fascinates me. No, I can't do it right now because of the cat. The cat would not tolerate living in a car. And the idea of a litter box in a car is probably one of the most frightening things I can imagine. If any of you have owned a cat. But when she passes, maybe. I don't know. Might be something I have to do. Maybe that's how the whistlekick tour happens. I don't know. There's a comfort in being anchored. But the other side of that coin is freedom. Freedom is scary. But most of us don't have it. Cave says, yeah, get the whistlekick bus. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the future brings. It's an interesting thought experiment, if nothing else. You can see, like, my wheels are turning. It's hard to pull them back. I've spent a really long time tied to stuff. I grew up without a lot of stuff, and I thought stuff is what made me happy. It's not. I want less stuff. Come spring, the first floor of the Whistlekick warehouse is full of stuff I'll be selling in a garage sale. I was hoping to do it in the fall, but it just got too late. For those of you that don't live in this area, we have yard sale season, and it's basically Labor Day to Memorial Day. And outside of that season, people don't tend to buy stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that I just don't need, you know. Take a look at your coffee mugs. How many coffee mugs do you need? You need one. Maybe you can justify two. I had like 30. Stacy says, rent the house for a year, have friends host your stuff while you determine if it works. Why? I wouldn't even need to do that. I have 2 garages. The whistlekick warehouse, is more than big enough to put all my stuff in. It's actually quite large. But what's interesting when I start to think about these things, there's a lot that I can do now and a lot that I am doing now. One of my goals is that I take every Friday off. Now, this Friday was kind of going to be that. I was going to be in the car, driving, training, spending time with friends. That was going to be a nice day. Now, the weather changed it, so I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm making a choice. I'm going to do some work. It's going to have a different vibe to it than the rest of the week. It's Friday. It's snowy. That's okay. When I identify things that I don't need, that feels really nice. Giving away those things or selling those things, it's purging. By the way, Facebook Marketplace is the best way to get rid of stuff. If it's something that's, worth 20, 30 bucks or more. Far easier than eBay. I've got a big portable air conditioner that once it starts to get warmer again, that thing will go. People don't want to spend money on air conditioners over the winter. But we'll give you 50 bucks for it. No, go away. Thing's $600 new. And it still works tremendously well. Yeah. It's funny how that question or that subject just makes my mind wander. So I'm going to try to pull it back enough that I can wind this up and wrap this up and let you go about your day. Homework. No homework because it's Friday. All right. Remember, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. You can catch it later. It's available as a podcast all over the place. If you want to ask a question, please ask questions. Contribute to this show. Let's make it more and better and grow it and have more people involved. Drop it below. I'll answer it tomorrow. If you want to support the work we do at Whistlekick, 2 ways. Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. Throw us, a couple bucks a month. $5 or more gets you more content, like some of the stuff I'm recording later today. Or make a purchase at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15 to save 15%. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications. Did I say that? I don't know. All right. You go do your thing. Have your Friday. I'm going to have my Friday, my weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday. Have a good one. Take care, everybody.